Hello, welcome back. Good morning. This is your reading for Sunday, March 9th. Yeah, the clocks went forward. We lost an hour, most of us. Or maybe you went to sleep early and you're just fine. But if you have any fur babies, they're going to let you know that their clocks are not working right. You might want to feed them early, right? Oh, or what seems to be early according to the clock. I'll tell you what time it is. So, what is it that we need to know today? There we go. Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles. Let's hope somebody's not feeling rejected. We have the Fool. There's a new adventure, a new beginning. We have the Ace of Cups coming through reversed in the evening. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so the theme for the day, though, with the Fool, it's all about new beginnings. That's what the Fool is. It's the one. It's called the Zero card because it's the one that stays out of the major arcanas, and it's like the journey of the Fool. That I like to just call the journey of the soul. But it's all about creating freedom and autonomy and reinventing ourselves and just moving forward, evolving, literally evolving our souls. So there's something about a new beginning today. There's something that is very spontaneous. It's often the card of the free spirit. But I like to look at it as like freeing our spirit so that they're fully coming into our body, freeing our souls actually so that our spirits are completely shining through. But we have to be careful, about going too far, too fast. That's got the little trusty dog saying, watch out, you're going over the cliff. You're not looking. You got to watch where you're walking. And because with the Five of Pentacles and the artwork here, we can see she lost her shoes, and he's has hurt himself and is on crutches. You combine these two together, and I'm like, okay, be careful, right? Normally with the Fool, being out of control or out of body is more the reversed position. But because of the Five of Pentacles, I'm still wanting, to make sure you guys are safe. So be careful about tripping on something. It's easy to, catch an edge, get shoes not working exactly right on the carpet or something like that, or be careful if you're out shopping. I don't know if there's still a lot of snow or bad weather going on. In some states, it's really cold. It's still really cold here, but it's much better than it has been. My heater's not coming on as often, but it's still cold. And I don't know what kind of weather you guys are in, going through or what's happening. So anyway, a Five of Pentacles traditionally is our card for feeling like we don't have our needs met and we're feeling rejected. And, you can look at the card and see why the old adage of being shut out in the cold is one of the, key quotes for this card. But really, back in the day when the deck was invented, they still had leprosy. And that's what this artwork is about. That's why they couldn't get into the church, is because of leprosy. Well, thank goodness we don't have anything, you can still get leprosy, but it's very, very treatable. Maybe there's some political message in here about being very careful when you're out about droplets, because we're not as safe now with RFK Jr. being in charge of HHS, we're not safe, and a lot of those programs have been cut, and it's not, we are 30%, the stats are that they're predicting that we are 30% more at risk for getting something like Ebola or if people weren't vaccinated, measles, mumps, rubella, that whole thing, and other infectious diseases that we don't even know yet, and then also the drug resistant, infections that can come through. There's that. There are all these things. So we're needing to be more careful. And I understand, it's especially with your kids, it's not worth the risk. Kids and grandkids and all that. But anyway, so traditional meanings. Now let's hope these cards don't have anything to do with any of you. And I got the wrong cards for today. Let's just hope for that. And go with the meanings. Well, let's figure out what the meanings are. So 5 of Pentacles, keywords for this card are feeling isolated, insecure, worrying about money, experiencing financial loss, thinking about, money and comfort, Mercury and Taurus, thinking about what you have and what you don't, right? And maybe feeling stuck. So, yeah, and it's also a card of poverty. It's also, because it's Mercury and Taurus, it's, Taurus rules the throat. It's also our card for laryngitis, for throat problems, for feeling like kind of, respiratory problems. And with the Ace of Cups reversed, I would say that's a real possibility. And then you're just feeling kind of dull and kind of like, you know what it's like when if you've been in the snow for too long, it's kind of like, it's hard to talk. If it's really cold, your jaw's not working right. Things like that. That's what I'm getting with that card. The Fool I've already covered, and that's our theme for the day. So be careful. You want to be free, but you want to be careful. And then it's not easy being in a body, right? Now with the Ace of Cups reversed, the keywords for that card have to do with just feeling kind of repressed, and maybe you're avoiding the truth of what's really going on, and you're holding down emotional material that needs to come up, emotional reactions from the past. You might be holding them down, and because you're worried about not having enough, but you're afraid to say that you're worried, and maybe you're afraid to even broach the subject with someone. So go back to feeling free enough to just express where you are at any time, and if anybody's judging you for what you're feeling or what you're going through, that's on them. Whenever somebody's judging you harshly, that's their fault, not yours. So don't be afraid to speak up, and, you'll find out who your real friends are. Okay, that's all I have with the cards. The astrology is, it's a little more intense today because the moon is working. Now, I have it set for 7 a.m. Might as well go back an hour. It's not going to matter much. Even 5 a.m., yeah. The moon is still, no matter what, is on the other side of Mars. So we've picked up a lot of steam. We've got all this fast-flowing consciousness that can be very loving and creative and supportive. But with the moon squaring Eris, there's that sense of, challenges when it comes to, especially with Chiron getting closer. It's moved a degree, and it's 3 degrees away from Eris. So we've got that intensity there, and Eris is all about, feminine. The feminine. She's like the kick butt counterpart, like sister to Pluto and Mars. Actually, Mars is like Pluto's little brother. If you study evolutionary astrology, I studied a lot with Stephen Forrest, and actually Jeffrey Wolf Green a long time ago, but I like Stephen Forrest. So Mars squaring Eris, and the moon, actually, yeah, this one's a waning orb, but the moon is tight today, so that just gives a lot of intensity on wanting to be safe and getting the courage, because she's all about courage. Eris, it takes 556 to 558 years to get around the zodiac, where Pluto is 243 to 248. So she's twice as powerful. She's been in Aries ever since 1926, and she will stay in Aries until 2048. So we came in with, most of us all came in with Eris in Aries. I know when I was born, it was at 8 degrees of Aries. And yeah, still, even no matter how old you are, yeah, because 1926, I mean, still. That covers a lot of years. So we're all here to be more independent. This time is about women's independence. And we are fighting against that very strongly, and we're feeling it a lot today. With maybe we've had some dreams, maybe something in dream time, about feeling repressed or held down, and just not feeling free. So that's the fight. And then if we progress forward a couple hours, that's when we have, a couple hours, by 7 in the morning, we have the moon opposing. So this is an approaching opposition. The approaching energy is stronger, and it builds up to like a fever pitch, and then it wanes. So all morning, it's going to be one of those things. It's just like an all-day thing where, it'll wane in the evening, but we're still going to be feeling it, because we're working back to where Mars is going to oppose Pluto again, and the moon is initiating this now. So as soon as the moon hits that 3-degree point of Leo, major confrontations. It can bring breakthroughs, but there are confrontations. So I'm thinking that this weekend, I don't know what protests are lined up, but I'm thinking this weekend is not going to be good for the greedy tech bros, and it's not going to be good for the likes of, Mussolini, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and any of these other just silly little men with penis problems. Silly little men. Doesn't matter how tall or short they are, they're little men. Because strong, real men want to protect the feminine and children and the vulnerable, which is, anybody at any time can be vulnerable. That's what real men do. These other guys are sucking off of us. These other guys are doing everything they can to just destroy humanity so that they can have all the money that they don't even need. Like, do you know how hard it would be to spend $1 billion? $1 billion? I mean, $1 billion is $1,000 million. Nobody needs that much money. They've got hundreds of billions. Hundreds of billions. Just think it through. So, yeah. So they're empty inside. And, we almost have a mystic rectangle here, but instead all I'm seeing are these two big crosses, and it's coming from the moon, and I think the woo that just came out of my mouth is, I think I'm channeling what we're all going to be feeling on Sunday. And add to the fact that probably we're sleep deprived because we lost a friggin' hour. We're going to wake up in the morning and go, oh, fuck, kind of thing sometimes, some of us. And we're going to be a little grumpy. We're going to be crabby. and it's working its way to a fever pitch, and then the next day when, I'll do that video soon, the moon will be in Leo, and it's like, watch out, watch out. It's fire and air. There's going to be fighting words, especially with Mercury and Venus so close together in Aries. There's fire here, there's going to be fire over here, there's air here. And then on the downside with all this Piscean energy, it can be a lot of people feeling victimized and getting pissed off. So they're either going to be pissed off because they've lost so much because of Trump, and they're figuring it out and they're sorry they voted for him, or the family members are all pissed at them for voting for him, and they're sorry for that because of that, and they didn't really know what they were doing. Now they need to be educated. Right? And the moon is exactly square, so that's at 7 a.m. At 6 a.m., the moon is exactly square Eris. So again, there's that. The feminine outrage is palpable on Sunday. So try to stay centered. If we can stay calm and peaceful and focus on what we want to create, we're going to be using the energy very well. But it does need to be used in a way, with Uranus trining the South Node, it needs to be used in a way that's very practical, that is very, very discerning, and creates safety. Reinvent yourself so that you have safety and security, and focus on the details, and you're going to be just fine. We may not be spending money like we used to. We may be much more, a little more than careful, but it's okay. I mean, we'll get through it, and if we save our money the ways that we want to, then we can, or the ways, in all the ways that we can, then we can donate to who we want to, because not everybody else is going to be able to get through this. We can donate to children and Ukraine. We can donate to places that really, really do need our help. So, you take a little money from here and put it there, kind of thing. That's what it's looking like to me. Okay, well, that's all I have. Be back soon. Bye.